Hi, I'm Dimitri,
And I'm Mimi.
and together we make Team
Team
Bird.
Bird.
Let's get it.
All right. So, have you ever had like a really big expectation that failed? A lot of people have. And so there's a chance that without some practical application, some, putting in the work, you're going to continue to be disappointed and disappointed for a long time. So today we are talking about unspoken expectations
Yes,
in relationships.
in relationships.
Have you ever had a big fail from me, like an expectation you
Like
had?
one?
That you just, what do you mean, like one?
You want? All right.
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about it, so have you? Really?
All right. So you want
Really?
you want this to stay unspoken, or you want me to speak it like right now?
This is what we do.
Yeah.
You came out with a laundry list? Okay. All right. We can talk about it later. We can
Okay, I
go
got it.
ahead and put that list away. I might have to speak on that a little later. But anyway, and this is how unspoken expectations can contaminate a relationship.
So there are two types of unspoken expectations. There are the expectations that you think should happen like right now in the present. And though the second one may sound similar, it is really different at the core. And it's an expectation that you like, really it's a strong belief of what you think should happen in the future. And this here borderlines on fantasy. Like you using your imagination, fantasizing of what you think should your actions lead up to.
Right.
So, fantasy. Why don't you tell them about the first one?
All right. So expectations of things that you think should happen right now. So the best way I heard it explained, there's a relationship expert named Devon Franklin on a TV show, and he was talking about how unspoken expectations are relationship killers. And I thought it was really good. I was listening to it. I was like, yes, this is really good. And so in essence, he was saying that, you have expectations of your partner, have expectations or an expectation from your partner, and you haven't communicated it. So I haven't told you, hey, this is something I want. This is something I expect.
Okay.
Right? And haven't gotten them to agree. That's important. So you don't communicate it. You don't get them to agree to it. But then you get upset when they don't do it, right?
Yeah.
And you hold them accountable for something that you haven't communicated.
That,
And I was like, that is so true. Yes, that is so true.
That sounds a little bit too personal. It sounds like you want to get something off your chest.
Well, since you asked, I do have a really good example. You want to hear it? Or do you want to wait? I think this is good. I think this is good. I'm going to go ahead and share
Why
this.
not?
So, so this is one that, it sticks out. So it was one of these weeks where it was just like so much going on, a lot going on with the girls, school, whatever, right? And so I was like, all right, laundry is on the back burner. So I was just like, I'm going to get to this laundry when I get to it. And I'm just thinking, okay, Mr. Bird over here, he's going to see the laundry piling up, and he's just going to jump in any minute to help with the laundry. And so it's still piling up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I know he sees this laundry piling up. He can come over here and help do the laundry. Like, I'm not in charge of laundry. I just so happen to be the one that does it the most, right? So instead of him saying, okay, let me help out with the laundry, he comes to me and he says, is there a strike on laundry?
I don't remember that.
You said it.
I don't remember that.
Yes, you said it. And I was like, I don't know. Is there a strike? Are you on strike?
Man, I thought things were getting real around the house. I don't know. I don't remember saying it was a strike. Is there a strike on laundry?
You said,
but,
is there a strike
but I just
on
need some
laundry?
boxers sometimes,
Hey.
man. Like,
But I wasn't on strike, and that's why I asked you. I don't know. Are you on strike? Instead of saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not feeling the laundry this week. Could you help out, right?
unspoken expectation.
Unspoken expectations. Because in my head, I was really upset because I said, I know he sees it. Didn't tell him. But then whenever he brought it up, I mean, if he would have said, hey, babe, could you, I don't know. Any way he would have said it, I would have been mad because I expected that he would jump in there and just see the laundry piling up.
And I expected that there'd be boxes in the drawer when I would go to look for them. So it's like, so in your mind, you were getting heated.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, is there a strike? Like something is not working right now. Like what's wrong with this equation? So I just was like wanting to voice voice like the thought of, is there something going on that I didn't know? So
yes. So needless to say, we had a conversation about that and got it back on track.
yeah. All right. So the second type of example, remember that we said that this here lies within the future,
Yeah.
the
It's the
future
second one.
expectation,
Yeah.
and because Sister Bird hit me low, I guess
Oh,
we're gonna go
no.
tit for tat on the
I
camera.
gotta go low now. You just,
Well,
just
well,
sharing. We're trying to share.
well.
Future
Okay.
expectations.
Okay. I just share, and I'm not talking about who the characters are in this story, but they could be make believe,
Hypothetical.
or they could be they could be real people.
You know about a friend.
A friend.
Uh-huh.
All right.
You got a
So
friend.
I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me this story. He was like, "Man, Dimitri, like, man, I'm really bothered." It's like, "Man, Jim, what's going on?" And he came to me, and he was like, "Man, I tell you, man, like, I did all this like work in the house, man. I got the car wash. I like, man, did the laundry, and I cleaned the dishes and everything." I said, "Jim, why?" I said, "Hey, that seems like duties around the house." Like, no. You don't understand. Like, this is my wife's love language. So I thought that by me doing these things, and then I cooked and went out and got her some food,
Oh, yeah.
and then like, man, we're about to get it in tonight. Like, I was setting the stage for. Stop tapping me under the table. I'm telling the story. She's tapping me under the table.
Is it Jim or?
This is Jim telling the
Jim's
story.
wife sounds
No,
like she
this
appreciates
is Jim.
when her husband helps out around the house.
Jim told me that he was ready for some nighttime boogie action. That's what he didn't say those words, but for the sake of like, let's just say Jim was ready, and Jim was setting the stage.
Okay.
And
right,
then he said after eating and everything, like the wife comes out with the super big bonnet on her head and the PJs on and the big granny shirt and you like, hey, there was a future. So Jim is disappointed.
What was he expecting?
Jim was expecting the boogie. That's what I said.
Okay. All right. I'm tracking.
That's what Jim told me. I don't know what boogie mean, but Jim told me that's what was happening. And so he got disappointed. And so he was grumpy on the couch.
He was disappointed because he expected to have some quality time with his wife.
Yeah, I guess that's another way of putting it.
And that expectation wasn't met.
It wasn't met.
So
That's
what
what
did he
according
do?
to Jim. Jim sat on the couch. And Jim kind of like made a face and was like, "Man, like, what happened? Like, what is all this for?"
Okay. So Jim decided he needs to do more laundry?
So back to so those are the two types of expectation.
Right.
Now let's get into some practical like
how do you avoid?
Right.
Awesome. All right. So first, simple, just communicate. Just communicate. Because one of the biggest things is and I'll speak for myself. When I get in my head and I'm like, well, he should do this and he should do that. And I know he sees this and I know he sees that. But just a simple, hey, could you do this? Or, hey, I would like for you to do that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
A conversation. Because when you get in your head, it just gets all, gets you all wrapped around. Then you get upset and then get frustrated. And then just, it ends up blowing up and not in a good way.
So for the second piece, I would say make independent decisions. And what do I mean by that? Make the decisions based upon like even if the outcome doesn't happen the way that you expect them to happen, and the disappointment comes in because the other person or the situation, those things which are out of your control, didn't happen the way that you expect it to happen. It's out of your control. So when you make an independent decision, you're just excited about you making the decision to do something good for your spouse or for your significant other.
Yeah.
And so if it's making dinner, not thinking of the end, maybe I need to tell Jim this.
Yeah.
Jim, if you're watching,
Talk to Jim.
if you're watching, so when you do all those things, and
like,
you
don't tie any strings to it.
exactly,
That's what
you're
saying. Okay.
doing
No
it
strings attached.
just out of the like appreciation of having this person. Like, just be excited. So if whatever you wanted to happen doesn't happen, Like you're satisfied of the production and positivity that you have within yourself from making the decision just to do it. So make independent decisions and don't like tie action of what somebody else should do. So it's like you're missing out on the present, and you're missing out on the small things that like you're becoming a better person, and how you're serving someone. So you're paying attention more to your service to someone, which really biblically that's what Christ said. He said the greatest amongst you shall be the chief servant of them all.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I do the most around the house. I must be the greatest.
If you say so. If you say so.
I'm going to make sure I tell Jim that.
So one, communicate.
Two, independent decisions.
Independent decisions, right? No strings attached, no quid pro quo. You know, I'm cleaning up, so I'm going to get something in return.
It's not just cleaning up. Let's not just focus on the cleaning up now.
Brother Jim was struggling because he did all the work.
You don't know nothing about Jim.
I'm listening. I talk to Jim.
All right.
Okay.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is agreement. So this seems like kind of foreign because it's like, well, my partner has to agree to do something, but it's just like a check back. Like, hey, all right, I'll use my laundry example. I say, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I would like your help with laundry. Do you think you can do a load once a week? A load maybe of your clothes. Like, don't worry about the girls. Don't worry about mine. If you just helped out with yours, that would be helpful to me. How do you feel about that? Well, do you agree? And what did you say?
I cut the grass. I washed the car. That's what I said. That's not a good example because that's what I said. I said, well, can I get some help with cutting the grass, washing the car? And I started listing all things. And you said, you going tit for tat?
Right. But let's fast forward to where we got to. Did you ever agree? Did you say yes? I thought you did.
Okay, yeah, I said, I think I did. I don't know. You may need a better example.
I'm going to give you that credit. Okay, so.
I did say it.
So hypothetically, right, Jim's wife could be like, hey, Jim.
No, this is not. I'm not Jim. Come on.
Could you help out with the laundry once a week? Jim's like, yeah, babe, I got you. And then Jim, if he has expectations for, quiet time with his wife, could be like, hey, I got this expectation. I mean, honestly, just plain communication.
Yeah,
his life is busy, especially with kids and work and school. So much going on. You just cut through a lot of the frustration, a lot of the disappointment if you just plainly communicate what you want with your partner, get agreement, get on the same page, and avoid the frustrations of unspoken expectations.
Yes, and so just also remember, that agreement is going to come with compromise. So it may not wind out to the future, play out that you want to happen, but as long as, you get it done, you both are satisfied, you both are striving to serve one another.
Working together. Teamwork.
Yeah, working together. Teamwork. I got to say makes the dream work. It's hard to say teamwork without making the dream work.
Okay.
But, yeah, well, we hope this session helped you and your significant other deal with that area of unspoken expectations. Also, pay attention when they come up or when it's happening. I think that's an important thing, too, for you to dwell in the present and to pay attention when it's happening. One thing that the Bible says concerning expectations, which is like a hope, is that hope deferred makes the heart sick. So this is why expectations, unspoken expectations, really begin to derail your relationship because your heart is literally impacted. Your hope, the heart of who you are, the core person of your being is literally disappointed and impacted by that expectation not being met. So you have to protect your heart. And by the way of protecting your heart is that we have to become better communicators. And so maybe we'll do a session on communicating later because somebody probably is saying on the other side of the camera, well, my wife or my husband or my boyfriend or my girlfriend, they don't communicate well whatsoever. And that's another situation. But until then, peace out.
All right now.